My unit, salute red team, go gold team, shine up those gold cards. Members, let's rock. Impromptu live stream, sort of. I hinted at it yesterday's live stream. There's a chance I could go live today. Salute, here we are live hours before Smackdown. Check, 1 2 1 2. BC, it is unit coming at you. Your playback sounds phenomenal. Here I go yelling, right? I'm going to blow the mic out now. Literally just heard a crack. Blowing it out now. Your playback is decent, though. So I'm taking your playback off, and I'm putting my playback on so I don't have a delay. That way, can I hear myself in real time? That'd be nice. You guys saw all the wires that go on with this production, let me tell you. What's up, everybody? There is going to be several topics. I'll try to keep this as short and sweet as possible. Hours before Smackdown. I try to keep this. I'm going to try with a half an hour. Sometimes it goes an hour. I said that yesterday. We went almost an hour and a half. But we do have to talk Charlotte Flair. It looks like there's a projection for her. There's a projection for her storyline when she comes back. And Gigi Dolan, the latest on her injury. I have NXT's rating. I have the Smackdown preview for tonight. We're going to talk a massive WWE deal that is in the works, should be finalized, final I's dotted, T's crossed within the next 72 hours. I mean, this is a deal that could get done this weekend. That's right, suits and ties working on the weekend. But this is a massive deal that's going to bring WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and SummerSlam all to one city. That's wild to even conceive that concept. Also, a huge new filing by WWE that directly affects the Bloodline. Makes zero sense, but and it just sounds stupid, but we're going to talk about it. But before I get into any of this, something huge, actually, and I know Super Chat, I think it was Sam Byers. I'm going to get the Super Chats in just a little bit as well. I will make sure that every Super Chat, I don't care how long we go, everybody will get that proper shout out for showing that appreciation. So, Sam Byers, I'll get to you in a second. But I do want to say, Sam Byers, 18-month membership. I do see that. Channel member for 18 months. Sam Byers is 18 months with BC in the gold card and red team. Sam Byers, here's to another 18 months, dude. Let me give you a salute from my country raspberry, clearly Canadian. We're going countryside today. Salute, Sam Byers. I appreciate you big time, dude. I have to ask, and this is a serious question, right? This isn't like a tongue-in-cheek. This isn't like a sarcastic or passive-aggressive. This is a real question because I didn't catch the show this Wednesday night. So if anybody caught it, please let us all know what happened to AEW. What happened to AEW this past Wednesday night? Because I just got the rating. Last week was bad, right? 680,000. They're already on a downhill slide. They're facing immense competition from other sporting events, and they pulled a 680. Horrendous. We understand. With sporting competition away this weekend, finally, this was their chance to regroup. I thought maybe 714s to 721 was my kind of trajectory for AEW this week. 714,000 to about 721,000. Guys, AEW pulled in. Hold on, where'd my chat go? There you guys are. AEW pulled in 500. Can you say pulled in? 502,000 viewers. 502,000 viewers. I usually, when it's that low, I tend to think there's a mistake that was made. So I usually try to wait another 24 hours. And usually there's no mistake, right? It's like, for whatever reason, that's what the show pulled. So smash that up on the way in too, guys. Whether you're live, I appreciate it, or if you're watching on the replay, the future unit, after we're live, this will go up on the channel. So even if you're watching on a replay, smash that up, helps out the algorithm. Let's BC know you are fully amplified, whether you went to the gym today or not. I need to know that you're fully amplified. I appreciate that. Smash that up. Let's get that to a bill plus. But usually when it's this low, I have to believe like there's at least a 10% chance there was a mistake, right? Something happened with Nielsen, something happened with the numbers. But unfortunately, usually that's not the case, and it is the real number. So this discussion right now is going to be, let's just say that this does hold up, and this is the number that AEW pulled. 502,000 viewers. There's no words for that, right? That's not just terrible. That's not just unacceptable. That is shocking. That is alarming. You have to ask, how do you only pull 500 with guys, no sporting competition? That's the most alarming. Even if you told me the NBA and hockey and a major baseball game, everything was on at once. With the Olympics, that's in August, right? But throw the Olympics in there, right? Throw a TV award show on CBS, right? Maybe it's the Golden Globes. Put everything on there at once. I would still be shocked that AEW would only pull 500,000 viewers with everything against it. But with no sporting competition at all Wednesday night, none. No sporting competition. They only pulled 500,000 viewers. I am literally asking, you see it in the thumbnail. Now, I'm asking anybody that saw this show, because I wasn't able to catch it Wednesday. I heard some things, I saw a clip or two. What happened this Wednesday, guys? I blinked and AEW fell apart. What happened Wednesday? Anybody who saw this show who is honest, don't just rip AEW just to rip AEW. There's enough people like the Bischoffs. There's enough people ripping the company just to rip it for no reason. And an honest assessment, what the heck happened to AEW Wednesday night? What did they book? What could possibly have collapsed the number? MJF just got back, didn't he? I think he even had a match to start the show. Rush, half an hour commercial free. Half an hour commercial free. What did you do in the half an hour? Did you detract your viewers? Did you give them a reason to check out? Because you're going in with the Big Bang Theory lead-in. That is a massive lead-in from Big Bang Theory. Dante Jarrett 20. Oh, hold on. Before I even read it, I have to get the membership. Sometimes they're on a separate list after we're live, the membership chats. So I have to make sure I get them as they come in. So Alicia on that 18-month channel membership with that gold card. Alicia says, yes, MJF won his match, but it made him look bad. Rush had the upper hand most of the match. Yeah, well, that's horrible booking for your champion if that's his first match back, and that's what you're throwing him into. I didn't mind what I was hearing and seeing from the feud the week before and the 2 weeks previous, but if you're throwing it in the first match and Rush is just having his way, if that's how it went down, Alicia, that's mistake number one. Alicia, 18 months from day one, Alicia rocking that gold card. Appreciate you big time, Alicia. Superior Tech, I'll be honest, it was Juneteenth, so most of us black folks were either out or watching the Kendrick concert. Superior, I can't believe that. I'm sorry, dude. I totally I'm not questioning that, but come on, man. That's 179,000 viewer drop. Because you were at a Kendrick concert or watching a Kendrick concert? That's not good for the product if it's that easily must miss. Not must see, must miss. No, there was no Big Bang Theory lead-in. There was no lead-in? The lead-in was Black Panther this week because of Juneteenth. Oh, maybe... So they didn't have the Big Bang Theory, so that shows you how huge that Big Bang Theory lead-in is. Bucks in the Acclaimed match. There's no excuse, says Cabone. Why isn't Swerve closing the show, Gregory says. Oh, opening or closing. MJF vs. Rush was good. Ospreay and Swerve promo back and forth was good. Tony Storm and Mina had a good contract signing. Honestly, they had a good show, says Rich. So are we just putting this on the June 19th holiday? I've never seen a holiday ravage a show like this. We go through every holiday. You don't see 180,000 viewer loss on a product that has 680 and then goes down to a 5. Last week, they pulled 681. That's really bad. We all know that. We don't want to kick them when they're down because the episodes I've seen the last 2 months, I've only seen a few, but they were better, I felt. The hard part is trying to get the audience you've already lost to get them back. They're trying to get their diehards back, which was used to be 950,000. So they're just trying to get the 950 back. They can't even get 800. It's been almost 3 months since they've gotten 800,000. They're trying to get that back. And now to pull 500, this was, guys, that's a 26% drop, by the way. 26 from last week. And the .16 demo that they pulled is a over 30% drop from last week. They pulled a .16 demo, guys. This is the lowest in show history for that demo, just for the record. In show history. As far as Dynamite as a whole, this is the lowest AEW Dynamite on a Wednesday night. Lowest Dynamite ever on a Wednesday night. The third lowest audience in the history of the show. The only two Dynamites to go lower than this past Wednesday were both on Saturday night, June 2021. A few years ago, they were going up against, or at least booted for the NBA Finals. And they were on a Saturday night. It's the only two Dynamites to pull lower. That was a few years ago. Again, those were Saturday night. So this is the lowest on a Wednesday night ever. Year to year total viewership, year to year, like last year to this year, the total viewership is down 45%, and the demo is down over 50%, 52%. From the time AEW Dynamite debuted, over 1.4, right on the cusp of 1.5, they're now at just 500,000, 500,000. They somehow have lost 65% of their viewers from the time they debuted to now. So something is drastically wrong in All Elite Wrestling. I think we all know that. If you love AEW, you have to admit that first and then go, okay, what do we have to do to fix this? Because we have to sustain viewership. Before we can even talk about new people, right? Casual fans, lapsed fans. First, you have to get your hardcore fan, your diehard, your tried and true back. Where did they go? It was at 950 month after month after month. Now you're at 5. Now let's just say the holiday, June 19th. And guys, I'll give you 75,000 tops. I'll give you a 575 with that holiday. I'm not giving you 180,000 viewers. That's more than a fourth of their audience. More than a third, correct? What'd they pull? 680 last week. And they lost 180. So even if I spot you and say 575... where did 375,000 viewers for the last month go? So that's what you have to concentrate on first. You have to get your old fans back. That's hard, man. That's not easy. Because the problem with that is they're bored with the niche concept too. They're bored with just all of the supposed dream matches. That's the truth, guys. If this was working... right, if Tony Khan's philosophy was working in bringing in all these guys and just having the dream matches, right, bring in Vikingo and bring in the dude that's going to be, what was it, the collision match with, they just brought somebody in. They're going to have another, like, Tony Khan dream match. I think it's on Collision. But if all this was working, man, people would be flocking to it. This is wild. I literally, in this live stream, there was going to be no real discussion about the ratings. I was going to touch base on NXT's rating, and I was going to touch base. I was waiting for the AEW rating because I want to talk about that with the NXT rating. So I was going to spend about 3 minutes on it, right? I'm trying to let everything settle back since after WrestleMania. That's why we haven't been talking ratings for a while. They still matter. They're the most important metric. Anybody that says ratings don't matter, Tony Khan would say... negative. Vincent Kennedy, negative. Levesque McMahon, negative. Nick Khan, negative. Everybody will tell you negative. It's still the only metric where you can see who is on their couch watching the big screen live. That's called must-see TV. Not watching it in highlights on YouTube. Not watching the replay on a Hulu. Not watching clips. No, none of that. It's watching live because it's must-see TV. We're not talking cord cutting. Streaming services, it's still the metric. So, I don't understand the whole concept of. I don't understand the whole concept of the I don't understand how there could be any excuses for this. 500,000 viewers. There's nothing. There's nothing imaginable. There's no sports competition. It's absolutely mind-boggling. I don't know if you guys, if there was something on the show that maybe just absolutely just tanked. JR9, for sure. It'll always be the case. Live viewership is the only thing that matters. Live. Netflix is playing around with this Tyson and Logan, all these different things, the hot dog eating contest on Netflix, all of that. They want to see first and foremost, what can they do in that singular moment when it is live? They're going to be counting those metrics. They want to turn into the live streaming destination. Those numbers are going to matter. Man. I don't know about a Kendrick. I don't know if I'm speaking for just white folk, but I know nothing about a Kendrick concert. I can tell you that. So if you're telling me that they are that oriented, that many people turn their backs, that many black folk turn their backs on AEW because they going out, they watching Kendrick. If that happened, man, then Tony Khan, he's got to look at those demos a little more. I'll tell you that much. If that many people simultaneously said check you, he gonna want to never put on another show on June 19th. So anyway, the whole point here was to just talk about the ratings for 3 or 4 minutes. Because I really have been feeling bad for AEW. I've been telling you guys this for weeks. I feel bad for them because the few times I've watched, I thought they were better shows than what I remembered months ago. I like the Young Bucks playing the heels while Tony Khan's on the sidelines and they're the evil authority kind of. But I felt bad because it's so hard to get the audience you once had back. They're diehards. It's really, you have to give them a reason, right? They have to rebuild that trust with you. It's hard. So I was giving them time, but this is that's a knockout punch, man. 500,000, even if they rebound next week, what, 650? Do they pull 200 to get back to 7 next week? That's going to be hard to do. Stegmeister. Yeah, man. I don't know if you want to know their rating, bro, but we're talking about a 502,000. 502K, man. Believe that. 502,000 viewers. I never thought I would see that. If you guys are wondering, NXT went up. NXT last week, 718. This week, 724. Slight bump, but as I always say, as long as you're going the right way, not the wrong way. 718 to 724. The demo is also up 0.4 from 0.22 to 0.26. So NXT benefited, even if just minorly, for the TNA crossover. People wanted to see what was the deal with that Battle Royal. Which wrestlers from TNA are going to show up. Of course, it was I Believe in Joe Hendry. So their ceiling was 807,000 this week for NXT. They bottomed out at 670, which was the end of the show. And then their 5-minute overrun ran a 721K. So the overrun really helped them out. But 807 the ceiling, 670 was their bottom out. They'll meet in the middle at approximately 724,000 viewers. So if you're looking at NXT right up against AEW with no big sporting competition for AEW, by the way, there was big games, especially baseball is a little bit more, it's a little bit more kind of narrowed in baseball, but there were some heavy, big games on Tuesday as well. But if you were going head-to-head this week, NXT defeated them by what? 502 to 724 is over 220,000 viewers. NXT didn't just beat them. They absolutely whooped them. Wow, man. That is 502,000 viewers. Again, the bigger issue here, guys, is that they're on a steady decline, right? I can't even say it's not just a 502. It is the 502. I'm actually shocked. Guys, I got this number 10 minutes before I put up the thumbnail and the headline for this video. So I'm still trying to comprehend this. Never did I think I would see 502. A little bit of me still believes there has to be a mistake. But it has also a great deal to do with how much they've declined in just the last few months. Like something is severely broken in AEW. And the concept, the business model, the people in charge, everything has to be, unfortunately, I'm watching right now a thing called, and unfortunately it takes me so, I just don't have the time to watch things. So I'm watching this thing called, sometimes just listening to, a thing called Who Killed WCW by Dwayne Johnson and Vice. And they're up to episode 3, thankfully, because if it was more than that, it would take me a year to listen. But it's so integral, all of the reasons, and it was like a perfect storm for everything to just sink what was once Titanic of WCW, but it eventually sank because everybody in charge and the way they were operating, it was absolutely a mess. It was an unacceptable, negligent operation. And AEW, we don't want it to become that. But it looks like something is severely broken that you're only pulling 500. And if we're going to blame a concert, if we're going to blame a Kendrick concert, who I never in a billion years, I can tell you, a lot of people did not know Kendrick was having a concert, nor did they care about Kendrick having a concert. If your product is good enough, a concert, I don't care if it's Taylor Swift or Def Leppard, it ain't gonna derail your product by nearly 200,000 viewers. The problem is that they were at a 680 last week, and last I checked, there was no Kendrick. And then this week, they're at a 502. The week before the 680, they're barely hitting or trying to get to 7. It's a decline. It's been happening. This isn't another sporting event. There was none this week. This isn't about a concert. There was none last week. The decline is real. The broke system within all elite wrestling is real. And until those issues get corrected, this absolutely is a tanking ship, and everybody's got to jump off before they go under. And I feel for people that I respect so much, like the Mercedes Monets and all the people that are employed there. But why do you think they have not cut a TV deal yet? This has been a year in the works. They've been trying to get a deal done for a year, guys. Do you understand, right? Do you remember what Jericho said a few weeks ago? He says, what I really wish for AEW is we get the deal that I know we have earned. He's pissed. Jericho's on the in. He's had these talks with Tony. They're not getting a deal that they like. And that's because Warner Discovery is going, what are we paying for? Their developmental brand is whooping it, or at least on your ass. Year over year is declining. You're less than half the audience that you started with. What do you think we're going to do? Pay you even more money? You know, their big thing, even no matter what the rating was at least we were number 1 for the night, right? Doesn't matter what the rating is. We're number 1 on Wednesday. Do you guys know they were number 3 this week? Number 3! So you think you're going to get rewarded for 3rd place? This is what happens. You won't get the mega TV deal because there's no way a station would care. I've said this for years about WWE's ratings. You got to be careful because the networks won't want to pay you. And that's what happened with Fox. Fox said, no, we're done. We're not going to give you another $1 billion deal. We're going to cut our ties. USA Network was looking at Raw's rating and going, we're done. They went over to SmackDown. They said, we want a relationship with WWE, but we do not want Raw anymore. So what we'll do is we'll throw our eggs into one basket, SmackDown. Nobody wanted Raw. Netflix had to come over with their new grand plan. What if we put this live episodic 52 weeks a year show on our platform? It happened at the perfect time that Netflix wants live action sports on their streaming service, right? That's why they're doing the Mike Tyson fight. That's why they want hot dog eating contest with Joey Numbnuts or Chestnuts or whatever that hot dog eating dude is. Right, they're doing all of this. So WWE got very lucky, and I'm talking lucky, that Netflix was going to pay that because USA wasn't, Fox wasn't. Nobody was going to pay what Nick Khan wanted. WWE is down to the 1/6s now, and that's without football competition. SmackDown got 1.9 last week. That was going into a PLE. That's why Fox said no. That's why USA said we don't want Raw. That's why Tony Khan can't cut a deal with Warner Discovery for over a year now. Everybody that said ratings don't matter, why do you think these companies want nothing to do with them? Or the advertising is not where the companies want them to be. The advertising revenue is even much more different than the upfront revenue. So this did not help the cause at all. And that's what sucks. The boys and gals in that company, and there's a lot. Tony Khan has overhired. He hired so many some bitches that even if the ratings were good, the ship could still sink because there's too many people on board. He's overhired. He's got too many people on the roster. There's so many stories coming out how there's a line outside Khan's office. Not everybody can even be seen. Most people are at catering or sitting at home. We used to say that about Vince for years when the talent was unhappy. He overhired. And nobody's bringing in the numbers because they don't have a plan when they come in. Mercedes comes in, she talks for 2 months. It's irrelevant by the time she's wrestling, and that's my favorite gal in the business. You brought in her, you brought in Will Ospreay, you brought in Okada, all within a 3-month period, and you lost nearly 400,000 viewers. I don't know, guys. I don't know. You know, we offer so much advice and constructive criticism to AEW and WWE. We hope that they hear. It's the most simplistic of things you have to kind of switch around. Nobody's saying they're the be-all, end-all, know-it-all. We're just saying, hey, red flag, that's definitely a no-go. That is just hurting your product. And we distribute facts, right? It's just facts. We're not just giving you an opinion. Right, we're giving you factual information as to what is not working, what needs to change. But man, if you're sunk down to a 500,000, the question now is, can anything even be done? Like, they can't get the new TV deal, or at least not what they're looking for. They could probably cut a deal right now for the TV deal, but it wouldn't be what Tony would want. But he could at least get another couple 2-3 years of TV time. Right? We're not saying AEW is dead within the next 3 years. He could sign right now, more than likely. There's a deal on the table. But Tony has not, because it's not the deal he wants. There's no real revenue, right? They're not going to pull in an actual profit. And that's what's hard. To this day, NXT has not pulled in an actual profit. AEW, to this day, has not pulled in an actual profit. And that's why Tony won't sign it, because he knows the TV deal is the first real step to pull an actual profit. And he knows that this deal on the table, it ain't it. And that's why Jericho is speaking out about it. That's why Jericho is saying, what I truly want first and foremost, my big wish for AEW, is that we get the deal that we have earned. That is a dude who is pretty pissed off and saying, enough of this. And he literally said in that same interview, remember what Jericho said? It's getting down to the wire, he said. So that shows you they've been in discussions for over a year, which was the first initial report. It's getting down to the wire, and we want the number that we have earned. So Jericho is finally just speaking up about it. He's pissed. Tony Khan's keeping it more under wraps. But I don't know what you can possibly present to the table that's going to tell them that, or get to let them know that, hey, we got to give you even more money when this is what you're giving them, 500,000 viewers. And the only thing, no sporting competition, the only thing that we can come to a conclusion is maybe it was the Kendrick concert. The what? It's disappointing to see a number like that, you know, and it goes back to wrestling is booming. You know those people that go, the pro wrestling business is booming? And what does BC always say, unit? I always say, is it, or is WWE's financials booming? That's the only thing booming. Even WWE's numbers are going backwards. AEW's numbers they're almost non-existent at this point. They're about to go under 500,000. TNA is just trying to stay afloat. The local bingo hall is trying to fill 20 people in their local bingo hall. The business is not booming. The greatest era since the Attitude Era, even better than the Attitude Era, is what some fans claim. Where is it, bro? Where is it? This is the best era ever. I'm just going to miss it this week because the Kendrick concert is on. I'll catch it next week. We would never do that in the Attitude. We would never do that when Stone Cold is facing Vince McMahon on Raw. You flip the channel and Sting is coming down from the rafters to confront the NWO. We would never stop and go, Kendrick is performing. Or whoever's big back in the day, right? Biggie's performing. I can't watch Vince and Stone Cold. You would never even hear that. You wouldn't conceive that when pro wrestling was on the top of its game. You would never conceive that you could miss a part of the show, let alone the whole show. Because you need to see somebody sing songs into a microphone. Yes, I agree. Whoever said that in the chat, smash that up. Oh, over 100 on that whole rant. I appreciate that. Over 100. Let's take that to 200 on the ups. I appreciate it. Yeah, Gregory. Triple H is a genius, said Eric Young. Eric Young, Triple H is a genius. He's not just a good creative mind, which is still open for discussion. No, we jumped right to genius now. He's Paul Heyman level. Okay, Eric Young. That's when you know you took a couple 2-3 shots too many to the dome piece. You got to relax, put an ice pack on it. Somebody sing him a bedtime story. Let him take a 3-day nap. He'll get back up. I don't know, man. Is there, guys, chat, is there hope for AEW? I mean, do they just have to change everything? Will you guys go back to watching every single week? Do you think it's a good show? You're stunned by the number? I mean, 680 last week was just horrible. We all know that. Not even clinching 7. But 500. It's beyond fixable, says James. Heyman is a genius. Other Paul is a doofus. Doofus son-in-law, says CM Punk. All facts. Run C20. That's all we drop, man. You know that, man. It's sad at this point. I've been waiting for the diehards to go back and really start something. AEW putting on their best show, but man, I don't understand what happened on Wednesday. I think it's still hope, but Tony Khan has to step down from the booking. Yeah, and he can't be the face of the company anymore. That's got to stop as well. But they just need a complete rehaul, and that's sad because they only opened business just over 5 years ago. Wow, man. James Shafita says, I watch every week. I'm bored most of the time while watching. Yeah, that's not good. Wow. James from Fajitas, that is not a raving review, man. I don't know. But anyway, I'm absolutely stunned by that number. I feel like there's a chance that there was a mistake, so I'm hoping that's the case. Every time I feel that way, that it's usually not a mistake. And the number is the number. I just never thought I would see them hit 500 this soon. I thought if everything collapsed, maybe. But there was no holiday. There's no sporting competition. There's definitely not a concert. that I would ever think would have had them lose nearly 180,000 viewers on a 680 total viewership anyway, to bring them to 5. I never thought that was even possible, because I thought the bulk of that 680 would be your truest of fans. That's shocking, man. So anyway, BC is absolutely stunned. That's why I had to take extra time on this. I am absolutely stunned. I will remain such until I find out for sure that that was actually the number, 502. Unit. Oh, Superior Tech says the quarters are already out and there is no mistake. Wow. So that's actually what they pulled, man. 502,000, no mistakes. The quarterlies are even out, and that's what I was waiting for. You know, until the quarterlies come out, it could be just a mistake on the totality. Once the quarters come out, there's no mistaking, because that's literally 8 separate counted quarters. You would catch your mistake within the first 2 or 3. So quarter 8 did 431. What was the main event? What was their main event to get a 431? That's what I mean. That's not a concert, guys. That's not a concert. They pulled 680 in totality last week. Claudio versus Pac. See what I mean? I heard some people say that was actually a good match, and that's what I mean. Nobody gives a flying shit about a good match. Wrestling is more than just your good matches, your bangers, and your 10-star matches. Stop listening to Meltzy's fictional star system and start working on character and captivation. That tells you fans are not looking at this formation of Cesaro, Claudio, as larger than life. And they're not looking at Pac as larger than life. But even more sad, if this was just for the niche, that's fine. The niche is going away. The niche said no thank you. Or they said, nah, we're good. We're going to go watch Kendrick yell into a microphone. We're good on this show. Sorry, Pac and Claudio. Maybe I'll catch the highlights. Kendrick is busting out some lyrics. That's not good. I couldn't imagine back in the day the main event on one of the big WWF shows being Stone Cold in there with The Rock, or Stone Cold and Vince, or Stone Cold and Taker, Stone Cold and Triple H, and us going, we got to stop, man. Biggie's rocking the mic. Can't do it right now, man. Puffy's on the mic, man. Oh, man, it's Stone Cold and Rock. I wish I could see this, but got to go watch the concert. We would never even think of that. Wild. Anyway, I could probably go another hour. I'm just stunned, man. I'm stunned. I can't believe that this is already where they're at, 500,000. I do believe, I can't believe, I should say, they'll go lower next week. I don't want to even think that. I think they'll at least get back over the hump of 6. I don't even know right now if they can get back to 7. Not next week. I mean, they have to really, Tony's got to come out with like 10 different announcements or something. 10 big announcements. Something's got to change, because damn, you got to get all of them back now. If this is what we've come to, if we're even for those that did pick the concert over the wrestling, if this is where we're at, this is far from must-see TV, man. This is far from must-see TV. I mean, you could have a rerun. You could put The Sopranos on regular TV off of HBO, and that's going to pull more of a buzz. Sorry, guys. Huge main event over in AEW, but The Sopranos are on, man. Wednesday nights. FX has The Sopranos now. It's not even a joke. Wrestling Russ. I'm not doing super chats yet. I'm going to make sure I get to every super chat. I assure you, everybody's going to get a shout out, but I got to laugh at that. Wrestling Russ. I'll go over that a little bit, but that is so funny because it's so true. All right, guys, I got to move on. There's other things I want to talk about. I'm just stunned, and I'm trying to comprehend it. Now that the quarterlies are out, you guys are telling me it's official, 502. Mind-boggling, man. Everything we said, We're trying to help. We're trying to help. Nobody wants to see AEW go out of business, bro. Competition is good. But it's broken right now. It's broke. Nobody is feeling it's must-see. Nobody wants to tune in on Wednesday nights. They went down to $500,000. NXT pulled in 724. We got to move on. Let's go over to, what do you guys want to do? But like I said, NXT 724. Speaking of NXT, Gigi Dolan, out with a torn ACL is what we believe. That's what some reputable reporting is telling us. So a lot of people didn't know the exact injury. She's been out since, I believe, March. Nobody really knew why Gigi and her fine assets were off NXT television. We believe now it is a torn ACL. So we wish her the best. That would place her back around November. So around Survivor Series time, whatever NXT PLE is around that time. JR9, you up in here still, man? Yeah, JR9. What event? Do we know what NXT is doing in November? Because that's probably where you're going to see Gigi back. Yellow Rose. I feel bad for my boy MJF. I mean, this dude just came back and the ratings completely tanked to the lowest number on a Wednesday night ever with no sports competition. You gotta feel bad for MJF. It ain't all on him, but $150 on the ups. Thank you guys, man. Let's take that to 175 plus. So we wish GG all the best. Another torn ACL. I don't know what these wrestlers are doing. Back in the day, you didn't have it in sports. You didn't have all of these meniscus tears and ACLs and MCLs. You didn't have all of this. I played so many sports growing up and nobody on my team. I was getting some weird like hip flexors I would get, right? It would take me out of action or should have for a couple of weeks. Of course, I played anyway, played through the pain. But you didn't get all these tears in these muscles. I got to believe that it's the training today. The machines are the machines are too specialized. Something's happening with the machines that they're using. Something is happening with the trainers and what they are trained to tell these individuals what they can do. Something is wrong. Too many athletes are ripping their muscles apart. This is not normal. The injuries I'm seeing in baseball, it is not normal. Football, and I played it, it's not normal. Basketball, how many torn ACLs and meniscus and MCLs, it is bullshit and it has to stop. So fire all the trainers, the athletic trainers, the PTs, whoever's doing it, go old school. Just bullshit. Too many injuries, and everybody turns a blind eye to it. Abba, she ripped her leg apart. It happens. It's not ballet. It wasn't happening 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Maybe 5. Doesn't call for all the dudes that's doing it. The dudes are gripping their muscles up. So what's the dudes? What's the excuse for the dudes? There is none. It goes to the training. The trainers, the training, the machines. That's where everybody's doing all their work. It's not the games anymore. Now you have work overload, right? Work management, right? Where these players can't even play every day anymore. They need a day off. Back in the day, we scoffed at that. You played every single day. If you had some injuries, you played through them. You know what it did? It made you tougher. Go start Googling Cal Ripken. Start Googling Matsui. Matsui finally, one day he actually blew his knee out. That was the first time he actually started taking any time off. Before that, all the nagging injuries, he played through it, made him stronger. Matsui was an absolute engine. Soto for the Yankees right now. He loves to play every single day. What a concept. And you know what's awesome? He doesn't get hurt. When you start taking the days off, magically, they start getting hurt. It's amazing to me how professional athletes don't play every day anymore. In fact, it's almost a thing now where you got to miss a game or two every single week. What? Get your ass out there and play. The dude going up there and fixing your electricity during a tropical storm or a hurricane. And he's probably been shocked 175 times. Probably can't even feel his fingertips. But guess what? He's going to be right back up there in the next storm fixing your damn poles, your lines. He's not taking the day off. You got a sore knee? Tough it up, bucko. Somebody up in the chat, flip. Michael Jordan, you're damn right. That's what we grew up with. Michael Jordan played in 104-degree temperature. Had one of the games of his life. Now, if you have 104, you're not even at courtside. You're in the back. You're getting a massage. You got tea. You got somebody reading you a bedtime story. You got ice packs all over. Mike Jordan, 104? I'm going to play. Whooped some ass. I believe he beat my Knicks that game, right? I think that was my Knicks, maybe. That's what makes Michael Jordan a king. That's what makes Michael Jordan the guy. I'm amplified, guy. I had a lot of coffee today, so that's why these topics, these storylines are taking a little bit longer. I got a lot of amplification on everything. Let's keep moving on. We wish the best for Gigi. Charlotte Flair. It looks like we have the trajectory when she comes back. The current plan, and now isn't Andrade Monday Night Raw? Because the current plan for Charlotte is the Smackdown brand, and the original concept was her and Bayley to run another program. But you know they're going to pull that audible. You could have Nia Jax defeating Bayley at SummerSlam, and then Charlie gets to come back as a massive face and take out the evil, dastardly monster Nia Jax. But the point is, either way, you can look for Charlotte Flair to come back to the SmackDown brand, be inserted right into the title picture, and whether it's Bayley or Nia Jax, look for Charlotte Flair to secure her 15th championship of all time. And I know that's going to make Ron C23 very, very happy. I'll get to that in a little bit, Ron C23. As I was talking Charlie, I just saw your super chat pop up. So Charlie, that looks like Andrade is Raw, right, guys? Yes, no? Oh, Melissa. Okay, so Andrade is SmackDown. My bad. James Shrimp Fajitas. Okay, so he is Smack. Oh, so yeah, that's a definite then. The reports are pretty much accurate then. She's going there, and I guess that makes sense. You're not going to have her come back to do anything with Liv or Rhea Ripley. That wouldn't make any sense. But it's just crowded. If you're giving that title right to Charlotte, you're going to have to find a way to have Tiffany Stratton defeat her, I believe. It has to be Tiffy time. Before she goes to Hollywood fully, we have to see Tiffy time reach her full potential. Because lately, Tiffy time is out of time. It's like Back to the Future, out of time. If you ever seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. There's no Tiffy time anymore. Ever since the post was made and all the controversy, she was kept off of SmackDown for 2 straight weeks, and now they have her basically like a sidekick backstage to Nia Jax. So maybe that helps Nia win the championship at SummerSlam. And maybe that's how something happens with Charlotte Flair. But I don't know. I mean, the person to take it off of Charlie, I don't want to future book too much, but you got to believe it's Tiffy time. Anyway, that's the Charlotte Flair news I got for you guys, man. It looks like they are going to insert her right into the title picture. And it looks like she's actually going to win it. Again, the initial report said with Bayley. I'm not a fan of that. I think they will audible. I'm also not a fan of her and Nia Jax. Again, we've already seen it. The cool thing with it, though, is what I told you the first time we saw it. Both Nia and Charlotte hate to sell. So what did I tell you that on Monday night? It was a while back, and a couple years ago maybe. And I told you guys we were doing a preview show. And I said, I can't wait for the match only because I know they're not going to want to sell for each other and they're going to really start hitting each other. What happened that night? They started actually just wailing off on one another. They did not want to sell. The match was ugly. It turned into a fight. And Nia Jax has gotten much better since she's gotten back, though. So I don't expect the same exact thing with her and Charlie. It remains to be seen if Charlie comes back wanting to sell. Because if Nia does get pissed off, you're just going to see them fight again. So grab your popcorn and you're clearly Canadians. I guess we can watch one more round with Charlotte and Nia. Sticking with WWE, WWE has filed for a new... who said that? Let them brawl. I like that. Storm. Let them brawl. WWE has filed a new trademark also connected to the Bloodline. And this one is mind-boggling to me. It's Caesar Sikoa. That's what WWE just filed for. And it just got approved, by the way, from the U.S. trademark, whatever commission. It did get approved. So you're going to hear the name or something with Caesar Sikoa. I don't know if that now, is that Hikuleu? Or was it the Talatonga that we originally stated last week, which is what WWE filed for, that Hikuleu was supposed to be? Talatonga, I believe it was. Or was it Talaloa? There's so many Tangaloa, Tangahonga, Kawabunga. I'm going to start getting mixed up with these names. I'm just letting you guys know. But they already did that trademark. So what is a Caesar Sikoa? Is Solo changing his name? Or are they going to act like Hikuleu is his brother? But he's not. Hikuleu is the son of Haku, which is the brother of Tonga and Loa. Or Tonga is Loa. Loa? Kawabunga. The Kawabunga Bros! That's what they are now. I'm going to get mixed up on these now, I'm telling you. But anyway, guys, I'm just delivering the news to you. Caesar Sikoa. Maybe they'll fancy it. Cesar, right? Cesar Sikoa. I like Cesar Sikoa. But you can't change Solo Sikoa. That's absolutely stupid. The dude's name is Solo Sikoa. Let's keep it Solo Sikoa. You're not going to erase the fact that you have lost 41 matches in a row just because your name has switched to Caesar. That's what they do in New York. Do I got any New Yorkers up in this chat? You guys know what I'm talking about. Like when a restaurant gets a really bad review, like too many or whatever, they'll change the name of the restaurant. So you'll be walking by one day, right? You'll be on the west side. You'll be on your way to the Hudson. And all of a sudden, like that nice pizza shop you just had, it all of a sudden turned into a Mexican restaurant. And it's got a whole new name, a new entryway. Same owners. It's the same owners. They switched the name and everything. They're no longer doing pizza. It happens all the time, guys. All the time. It's because they're trying to change their whole reputation and everything. It's kind of funny. New York, it happens all the time. Maybe it happens in all the big cities. Maybe Chicago knows what I'm talking about and some odd, but they do it all the time in New York. It's kind of, it's tremendously funny. But you're not going to do that in WWE, right? Solo lost 41 matches in a row after he beat John Cena. We're not going to forget about that just because your name is now Caesar or Cesar. And by the way, the trademark has kept Sikoa afterwards. That's why we believe this is connected to the Bloodline and more specifically, Solo Sikoa. So anyway, letting you guys know, don't be alarmed or shocked too much when you hear the name Caesar Sikoa being displayed, and that could be Solo. Moving on. Where do we want to go here? WWE closing in on a massive deal with the Indiana Sports Corporation. A massive multi-year deal, guys. We're hearing the number is 7 years of a deal between WWE and Indiana. So basically, think about like the deal that WWE has with Saudi Arabia, but within the United States and Indiana. It's a 7-year deal that's going to bring WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, and SummerSlam all to Indiana within the 7-year period. I don't believe it would be all in 1 year. We're hearing the Rumble 2025, though, could be there. Possibly even a 2-night extravaganza. And then you go into Mania maybe the next year or following year, and then SummerSlam before the end of the 7. So I don't know what Indiana did, but when they woke up, there was not coal in their stocking. It was absolutely gold. And you got to believe maybe this has something to do with Pat McAfee, too. He loves the state. Indiana, obviously. The last time they were there for WrestleMania, I think, was 1992, WrestleMania 8. And, of course, man, that was such a great time in pro wrestling for BC. Man, that was still the Hogan days. Warrior had just come. WrestleMania 8, Warrior came back. And he was much smaller because it was after the whole Roy trial that Vince and Hulk Hogan were all a part of. So he had to he couldn't do all the special stuff. So he's a little bit smaller. His hair was shorter. Everybody thought it was a different Warrior. That was actually the real Warrior. He came back. He took out Papa Shango, I believe. right? Because it was Sid versus Hulk. Papa Shango interfered, but then Warrior came out. That same WrestleMania was when Randy Savage, the Macho Man, beat Ric Flair for the championship. But anyway, that was the last time I believe WrestleMania was there, or a big event for Indiana. So 7 years. I don't know if that's fair or not, but all is fair in love and war and business. So they get a SummerSlam, a Rumble, and a WrestleMania. Listen, I'm not even going to play or hate. Good for Indiana. It's usually a lively crowd. Their stadium is huge, so that's a good thing. It's aesthetically pleasing as well. So I'm just hoping that they bring it. I mean, that's a lot. Indiana just scored big with WWE. Yeah. Yeah. No, JJ. Not India. Indiana. Indiana. That's too funny. Jinder Mahal. That would be a funny backstage thing, right? Jinder Mahal's trying to get in. You can't have it in India without Jinder Mahal. No, that'd be more R-Truth, I think. Also, SmackDown tonight. Let's get to that because we are closing in on an hour. I do want to get to my super chats for sure. Tonight's SmackDown preview. It looks on paper like a big show, guys. CM Punk is returning tonight, and there is talk. It's not confirmed. It's not official, but there's talk that Drew McIntyre could already be in Chicago, and he is going to be a part of this segment with CM Punk. The whole I Quit storyline. And he's actually going to take Punk out moments after Punk announces that he is cleared for action. Or right before he's about to announce he's cleared, Drew McIntyre strikes. That's what we believe is the case. The plan initially, from what we were told, is Drew was always supposed to be there Friday with CM Punk. Now, I don't know if this angle, this quitting thing was so big. It took a lot of talk, guys. It was right up there with the Wyatt 5 debut. Soon to be Wyatt 6, we believe. But Drew McIntyre's quitting was, it was a huge talking point. So there's a chance they may want to stretch this out, take Drew off the show tonight. But the initial report was that Drew was always supposed to attack Punk tonight and be a part of this segment. Now the only question is, do they stick with that original plan? Or is this so damn good that they're going to take Drew off for a little bit? For anybody thinking that this was a real quitting job, no, it was not. He has already re-signed with WWE. This is all a part of a storyline. I assure you of that. You'll be surprised. There's people that really think like he's just had enough and he just walked away, or he just needs time off and Levesque McMahon is giving him that. No, this is all part of the storyline. It's just about, are they going to keep up the initial part of it? Will he be there tonight? I'm okay with it. I know a lot of you guys might think that it's too soon. He just quit. Let's play this up a little bit. But how is that fun? Like, what are you going to do with Drew quitting? Like, they're just not a part of the show for 3. If he comes back in a month, is that any better? If CM Punk is actually cleared and we want to start something for SummerSlam, because we're only about 7 weeks away, right? Can somebody give me the date of SummerSlam, please? In the chat. Like, I want an exact date for SummerSlam, not a roundabout, because I want to actually I want to show you guys how quick it's coming up. And you don't want just like 4 weeks of build, even though this storyline has been going on a while, but you want to really kick it up to the next notch. August 3rd, that's the beginning of August. So, okay, so you have, what's this Saturday? 22nd. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 weeks. You don't even have 7 weeks. You have 6 weeks before SummerSlam. So what do? Do you wait a month more? Is that going to satisfy everybody? He quit for a month, and now he attacks CM Punk 2 weeks before SummerSlam. Let's call the match official. I'm okay with it. If they want to do something big tonight on SmackDown, go at it. I don't need to wait. I thought it was pretty cool on Monday. If his desire is to get Punk in Chicago tonight, have at it, bro. Have at it. Appreciate that, Chris. Appreciate that. Appreciate it, you guys, man, telling me it is indeed the 3rd. So yeah, we'll see what Drew does, but that's a big part of tonight's show. CM Punk is supposed to announce that he is cleared, or the doctor said he's not cleared, but we believe that Drew might end up taking him out before the announcement or right after. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition. Also tonight, guys, LA Knight is supposed to confront Logan Paul. Now, I don't know if that means Logan Paul is in the arena. It would have to mean that. But who knows when Logan Paul shows up? I don't know if he was advertised. Maybe you guys in the chat know. But that's what they have listed. LA Knight is going to confront Logan Paul. I'm into that. I hope Logan Paul is there. I hope they have something special planned. I'm told that Paul Levesque McMahon is a genius from former talent Eric Young, current TNA talent. So if he's a genius, I'm hoping they have some genius stuff with LA Knight and Logan tonight. There's a couple of Money in the Bank qualifiers tonight, triple threats. This is going to be Randy Orton, Tonga, and Carmelo. And then a separate match between Owens, Andrade, and Grayson Waller. Both matches, the winner will go into the Money in the Bank. So that's it. I don't have anything on the ladies. JR9, did you hear anything about the ladies? I don't have any, qualifiers. I didn't hear about any segments that were planned. You got to believe Bayley will be a part of this show somehow, but... John C., you can call him whatever you want. Scottish Psychopath, the Warrior, whatever they called it. I mean, this guy's got 10 nicknames. But I just want Broken Dreams to come back. I mean, if he's going to come back, I don't know why they didn't pull that in Scotland. You're in Scotland! And you didn't have Broken Dreams? So I don't care what nickname they give Drew. I don't care if we wait only 3 days between his quitting or we have to wait 3 months before he comes back. Just come back with Broken Dreams. We ain't asking for much. 175. We just hit on the ups. We're about to hit 200 in a little bit. I appreciate that big time, guys. Live on a pop-up live stream with just 26 minutes of notice. You guys are making it fun yet again and making BC want to do this for close to what's probably going to be an hour and a half when it's all said and done. I think that's what we'll leave it at that for that. Anything on the ladies? I almost said the chicks. It's 2024. You can't say the chicks, BC. Anything for the ladies? No, nothing for the ladies yet, says JR9. Yeah, they didn't promote any. They're trying to pop a rate. They knew they pulled a 1-9 last week. They know that was the lowest they have gotten in a very long time for Fox. Years. Since they first pretty much got on there was one lull period. They only scored a 1-9. So they probably are leaving. Unfortunately, I hate that that's the fact, but they probably left the ladies off on purpose, trying to get those eyeballs on. It's a catch-22, right? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. The ladies need that time to give people a reason to care. But a lot of fans still don't give women's wrestling a chance, so the ratings are so low. So then it gets back to the suits and ties. They see that it's not working, so they give them less time or they keep them off, and it's just a vicious cycle. It's very sad, man. But that's why it all falls on the genius, Levesque McMahon. That's what some people are calling him. He's a genius. It's on him to make us care, be captivated by what the ladies are doing. Let's do that tonight. But you can't do that if you're not even promoting anything for the women. Nothing. Guys, 2 big Money in the Bank triple threat qualifiers, which I couldn't care less about because I hate triple threats. The only thing I hate more than a triple threat is multiple triple threats in one night, just to give us to a tournament style Money in the Bank. Too many tournaments, too many qualifying matches lately. We just got done with the King of the Ring. Now we have qualifying matches for Money in the Bank. If you go to AEW, they got the Owen the Hart tournament. Owen the Hart? Owen Hart. Much love and respect to Owen Hart, by the way. Too many tournaments, too many qualifying matches. I can't keep up with it, and even if I could, I wouldn't want to. That doesn't captivate me. It's all scripted. I don't care if one dude in 5 minutes wrote down the next 6 weeks of television. That doesn't captivate me. But the bottom line is they got 2 big triple threat matches for the dudes tonight. They got the big storyline with CM Punk. They got the big storyline with LA Knight and Logan Paul. And you got no females even being promoted for the show. So no, there's no way that people can care if you don't give them a reason. Woo! I gotta tell you, I'm pretty amplified today, guys. Let me go over to the super chats, man. I want to say thank you to you guys, man. I want to flip it back to you now. So let me go to all you guys that are chucking super chat coffees or clearly Canadians at the channel in BC. Always appreciated. Never needed, always appreciated, guys. And it started off with Sam Byers, who, again, 18-month membership, by the way. Appreciate the channel membership more than you know, man. But Sam Byers, immediately after that channel membership chat, super chat, Sam Byers sent over a 20 spot, a mini banger bomb by Sam Byers. Victory! I'm assuming you're talking about the 18 months of channel membership. Sam Byers, man, thank you for the mini banger bomb. Thank you for the 20 spot. Thanks for chucking Clearly Canadians and coffee at the channel. But thank you more than anything for being a badass Amplified Unit member, dude. Sam Byers, here's a massive swig. Everybody, can you send a salute over to Sam Byers? Some electricity, some biceps up in the air. Send some love over to Sam Byers, please. Thank you guys, man. Thank you, James Shrimp Fajitas, Miss Lou. Appreciate it. That's for you, Sam Byers, man. Appreciate you. Hold on, Sue. Let me switch over. I lost my chat now for a second. Hold on. Got to get the chat back up on the big screen. Hold on. Technical difficulties. There we go. All right, there we go. I don't know how that was lost anyway, but all right, there we go. All right, we're back. No, we're not. You guys are medium again. Oh, now you're there. We go. Now it's larger. All right, Sam Byers. Thank you, dude. Joker 716. 5-spot coffee. Joker 716. It's no longer on the big screen, so I can't read that, Joker. Oh, I got it. Okay. B. No, hold on. You put the C before the mother effing. Oh, I see what you did there, Joker. B, C, mother fucking amplify. It sounds weird to me, though. I gotta do B, motherfucking C. Amplify me. Joker 716 says, can't wait to see such a predictable Smackdown. Let's get amplified. Salute to the entire unit. Joker 716. Appreciate you, man. Big time. Always good seeing you up in here, man. Colin, 2-spot, super chat. BC, I believe. Joe Hendry. Do you believe Joe Hendry or do you believe in Joe Hendry? Because I got to tell you, Colin, I believe in Joe Hendry. Jamal Straken, 2-spot, super chat. Coffee. It's time to get amplified. Jamal, you know it, bro. Let me get even more amped. Jamal's more amped. Jamal had another 5-spot super chat. Jamal says AEW has been doing a lot right recently, but the lack of FOMO in storylines isn't helping the product. The lack of fear of missing out. You're exactly right, dude. You can watch a concert one Wednesday. You can watch the Golden Globes another Wednesday. You could celebrate a holiday the next Wednesday, right? Just go out, go to a theme park, enjoy some roller coasters. You can enjoy another sport the next Wednesday. And then in about 5 or 6 weeks, come back to AEW and go, oh, I'm here. That's what's happening, though. And it's happening in WWE, too. Trust me. But, I mean, 500,000 viewers for AEW Dynamite. That's not even... I follow the trajectory of numbers. There's no way anybody could have thought that number was even possible. With a show that was against no sports competition, a show that was completely live, a show that featured MJF, a niched main event, right? What the niche would love, Claudio versus Pac. Your champion was on the show, a women's contract segment for their championship. Never would I thought 500,000 viewers. So Jamal, yeah, I've been saying every time I've been able to catch AEW, there's so much that I'm seeing that is improving. They're trying to get their older audience back, though. They're tried and trues. They're trying to get them back. But something went really wrong this past Wednesday. And I have to believe it's more than a Kendrick concert. That's wild, man. Realist in the room. How you doing? 2-spot. Bay Dalla is pushing the excuses with Kendrick. Again, realist, I don't know who that really is. You guys brought that up when he was like booted from a show from my boy JD a month or two ago. I don't know who that really is, so his opinion doesn't mean anything to me. I don't mean to sound like a prick, but I can be. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not, they didn't hit 500,000 viewers because of a concert. And even if that was the case, that's still the problem. That's still a massive problem. Realist, salute. Wrestling Russ, 5-spot super chat coffee. BC, there is no excuse. I think people are just turned off for a number of reasons. I hate it for the wrestlers. Love your podcast. Wrestling Russ, thank you, bro. Appreciate that big time. Let me give you a salute. Yeah, there is no excuse because even if there can be reasonings, but they cannot be looked at as excuses, right? You take the reasonings and you improve and you get better. You make sure that you're not hitting a 500,000 viewership, by the way. That's beyond unacceptable. But yeah, it is frustrating for the talents. And that's who I think about the most, like Mercedes just getting there, or somebody I'm so high on, like a Will Ospreay, and they're just getting there. MJF just got back, and they really want to do good for the company. They want to hear that the ratings are going up, and to hear that they pulled a 500. You think about how Mercedes is feeling with that, or MJF, or the main event, Claudio and Pac, hearing that that's what they pulled, a 438 quarter 8 segment. Man, that's rough. Unreal. Wrestling Russ. No crest. Man, and Wrestling Russ with another 5-spot super chat, by the way. Chucking a couple clearly Canadians at the channel. Wrestling Russ says, Biggie and Puffy were watching wrestling back then. I caught that when I was going through my rant, too, about 20, 25, 30 minutes ago. I had to just, do a double take. A little bit of a laugh on that, Wrestling Russ. It's so true. Everybody was watching wrestling back in the day, man. All the celebrities, all the musicians. You wouldn't even have a concert the night Raw and Nitro was on. Appreciate you, man. Dave Mealy. Dave's up in here. Before I even read these, let me give Dave a salute. Couple of 5-spot super chats, by the way. Dave is chucking coffees and clearly Canadians at the channel. Dave says, gone are the days when college students would throw parties while watching Raw and Nitro. That was the true definition of must-see TV. Dave, we don't even really talk about that, do we? You're so right. For those that don't know, or you were too young, you don't really remember the Attitude Era or Nitro versus Raw, when pro wrestling was truly booming. In college, we would throw parties, man. The kids were throwing parties. You were watching with your friends. I'm talking teenagers, adults, proudly sporting wrestling t-shirts because it was the thing. It was so hot. You were throwing parties, man. Dave also says Vince Russo roasting TK is more entertaining than TK's product that he's putting out. LOL. I always like Vince Russo, man. There's so much that can irritate you about Vince Russo, and he says some of the stupidest things at times. And there is times where he trashes pro wrestling out of bitterness. But there's so much that I am grateful for Vince Russo, because he's a big reason for that Attitude Era, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves because of what happened in WCW. But I promise you, it wasn't just Vince Russo. WCW was a sinking ship when he got there, and nobody was helping him when he did get there. So I'm not putting him on a pedestal, but there's so much more to the story. I really hope you guys catch Who Killed WCW by Vice and Dwayne Johnson. It's a really good listen. Even if you can't watch it, you're on the road away, try to listen to it. There's so much good content, and you really get into the weeds of how messed up WCW truly was. Dave, salute, man. Ron C23 put up this super chat while I was talking about Charlie Flair. So I thought that was pretty funny. Ron C23 in that super chat says, I lost the big screen. Hold on, Ron C23. I got you. There it is. Ron C23 says, all amplification, and this is the best show. Woo! That's what I saw. I saw the woo while I was talking about Charlie. I thank you, brother. Ron C23, all amplification. This is the best show. I'm a little biased, but I do second that. Glad that I'm entertaining you, Ron C, and I'm glad that you were able to catch up this pop-up live stream. Also, want to give a shout out to Dave because he was not done. He chucked another 5-spot super chat coffee. Dave said Triple H getting declared as a genius. It's Bruce's fault! LOL. If you're a new subscriber, we used to have a lot of fun with Bruce Pritchard. For a long time, everybody was blaming Bruce Pritchard for WWE being so bad. Vince would get like a slap on the wrist. Everybody else slap on the wrist. Bruce Pritchard was the problem for everything. And if people only knew how much epicness Bruce Pritchard brought us over the years, I'm not saying he was the best the past several, but, Bruce Pritchard is the reason that we got the Undertaker that we ended up getting, for instance. Bruce Pritchard worked hand in hand with Bray Wyatt on so much. So I was never going to just trash one dude more than Vincent Kennedy. But the community loved to just blame Pritchard. Dave, haven't heard that one in a minute. Realist in the room, how you doing? 2-spot coffee. Rikishi said it's time to unleash the beast, Fatu. Maybe he's, realist. Maybe he is Caesar Sokoa. If you didn't catch the stream 20 minutes ago, we went over a new trademark by WWE. You might want to rewind it during the playback. Realist, that's interesting. I think Rikishi is going to be involved, man. They're bringing the whole fam in at this point, and it is pretty much a guarantee Rikishi is on his way back, even if just for a few weeks or months or a PLE situation. Merge! 2-spot super chat. Merge says Joe Hendry decimated the elite. Nuff said. Over 200,000 viewers. Over 220,000 viewers. NXT over AEW. Of course, we're not going to give it all on Joe Hendry and say he was the savior, but that's pretty cool if you are Joe Hendry. And you were able to even help out with 6,000 more viewers than last week. Guess what? I think a lot more people, even though he was eliminated pretty damn quickly by everybody, I think a lot more people coming out of NXT believe in Joe Hendry than did going in. Merge. How wild is that? Hold on, I had a channel membership. Hold on. Oh, Bad Big Dog 95 with a full year of channel membership. 12 months with that gold card after his name. Bad Big Dog 95. Salute, man. Let me give you a salute before I read that. 1 full year of channel membership to Bad Big Dog 95. BC, you got me. That's funny. BC, you got me hooked on those Clearly Canadians. I love the strawberry and grape ones. I just wish I could get them by the case here in Alabama. They're hard to get, man. Thankfully, Costco's starting, so we have to take long trips to, like, Costco's and stuff. It just ain't too many of them in New York, unfortunately. But, yeah, we can, for a long time, I had to go to either Ohio or, which is even, that's a long trip, or Amazon. I could get them sometimes. But now I can get them much easier. But, yeah, Mountain Blackberry. The wild cherry and country raspberry, there's nothing like them. Bad Big Dog 95. At least it's not the caffeine, but after the coffees, then I get amplified on the sugars. I don't know if that's too good. Bad Big Dog 95, man. They're good, man. I grew up on these. I grew up on them, and then they stopped selling them. They went out of business. They finally came back a decade and a half later. Appreciate the membership, man. 1 full year rocking out unit style. Hold on. There's more super chats. I got to go back over to them. Hold on. Where did I leave off? Merge. Oh, Jamal. Jamal with a 2-spot super chat. Punk on SmackDown. What happened to the brand split? What I tell you, Jamal, you've been on this channel for a while. You've been subscribed to this channel for a while. You know what I'm going to say. The brand split is all but dead. They don't honor it, and that's why it doesn't feel special to fans. We can't look at the brand split. After this draft, nobody was like, oh, this is so exciting and fun. The draft was boring and absolutely horrible. And then coming out of it, we were like, nothing's changed. Because whoever they want to show up is just going to show up anyway. So Punk, a Raw guy, is just showing up on SmackDown because it's Chicago. And don't be shocked if Drew is showing up. And they found a way to do that because he quit Monday Night Raw. So technically Drew, right, there's a reason that he can go on to SmackDown. And in Scotland, CM Punk said there's a reason he's going to SmackDown because they excused him from Raw so he could see the doctors. And then Friday he was going to have an announcement. So at least they have some type of explanation. Usually, nobody has a reason while they're showing up on other brands. Jamal, your guess is as good as mine, other than they just don't have a reason. Stagmeister, 10 spot. Coffee and 2 clearly Canadians chucked at the channel from the Stegmeister. What do we call Shawn Michaels? Mr. WrestleMania. Stegmeister is Mr. PLE. Dropping a banger bomb before every event. Totally electrifying the live stream before we even get into the good, the bad, and the uglies. Mr. PLE. There you go. That's what we should call him. Stegmeister, I appreciate the 10 spot. Acknowledge the amplified champion of the world. Salute. Unit, let's get amplified. Stegmeister, appreciate you big time, man. Glad you were up in here, Steg. Let me see where I was there. I don't know why the big screen keeps kind of going out. Julie with a 279 spot, a full clearly Canadian chucked at the channel. Wanted to say hello, love your show. Julie, much love and respect. I appreciate those words. I'm glad you caught this on 26 minutes of notice. But it was going to be up on the channel anyway. If you ever miss a live stream, usually they're up on the channel. But Julie, I appreciate it. Just wanted to say hello, love your show. Julie, thank you. Glad we can talk the news, talk some pro wrestling, and hopefully in the process of the hour and 23 minutes, entertain you guys. So I'm glad I'm able to do that. I'm glad I had the time to do that today for sure. Guys, that took up a minute. Oh, hold on. No. We're not done yet. A couple more super chats just came in, so I'll stay as long as it takes. Ron C23 with another 2-spot super chat. I just had to pass you on one more Canadian. Ron C, I appreciate that, man. Just had to pass another Canadian. On one hand, I'm thinking clearly Canadian. On another hand, I'm thinking a clearly Canadian destroyer. How do you like that, huh? A clearly Canadian destroyer on the like button. Usually I tell you guys to give the like button a nice Batista bomb, maybe a super kick. Put the like button in a figure 4 leg lock, make it tap out, make that like button look up at the lights. How about a clearly Canadian destroyer from Ron C23? By the way, we just went over 200 on those ups. We're headed toward 250. So you guys are handing over 200 likes to the replay unit. So replay unit, there is no reason you can't hit 300 plus pretty damn quickly. Ron C23, appreciate the clearly Canadian, man. And the clearly Canadian destroyer on the up. Joker 716 with a 10 spot. Couple of coffees being thrown at the channel. Joker 716 says another session classified by the Bonafide, the Electrified, the most amplified B motherfucking C. We nailed it that time, Joker 716. What do you say? Till next time, BC. Salute to the entire amplified unit. Stay blessed. Going long. Oh, Joker 716. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Joker 17's already doing the route, man. The quarterback never snapped the ball. Joker 716's already going long. I love it. That shows initiative. Joker 17, man. Appreciate it, dude. That's funny. Hold on, I gotta make sure I got everybody before I toss this long ball. Guys, I appreciate it, man. That's been such a fun hour and a half nearly. This honestly, I do these thinking, hey, if it's a half an hour of notes and news and you guys are having a good time, entertained, let's do it, you know? If we extend it to an hour, so be it. If we're really having a good time, we got to go an hour and a half. I'll push everything else I have back. So if you guys are rocking like you've been the last 2 days, I'll extend the live stream like I did, man. So I appreciate you guys big time. I really hope you guys are entertained tonight by WWE Smackdown. I'll be trying to catch all of it live. If I don't, I'll catch it either way at some point. I will do all my due diligence on the notes, And within the next 24 hours, you guys will have a review of tonight's SmackDown. So stay locked on the channel, subscribe, notify, just push all the buttons down below. Make sure you're locked in on the channel. You guys will be the first to get that review. Salute, guys. Appreciate you big time. Thank you for making this stream a lot of fun. Thanks for the coffees and the Clearly Canadians. It's never needed. It's always appreciated for sure. And to my channel members. Next week, at some point, I want to do a channel members only live stream just to show that thanks to you guys on another level. So be on the lookout for that. 279 Julie, super chat. Thanks for everything. Have a great night. Right back to you, Julie. Appreciate it again. Appreciate it, guys. All right, now, I don't know who's going to catch it. You're all going to have to do what, like a Hail Mary. Everybody just go long. This is going to go really far. It's going to go over your heads. Reach out. Hopefully you come down with the ball, man. Whoever scores the touchdown, that's what I'm talking about, man. It'll rain down Clearly Canadians, maybe. All right, guys. Salute. Rock it out 24 hours from now within SmackDown review. Go long. Go.